think everyone here has a pretty good idea how net energy metering works. Your meter is tracking how your panel is generating during the course of the day. If you are generating, your panels are generating more than your facility is using, you're spinning that meter backward at night, or if you're really going hard during the day. Even if the panels are generating, if you need more, the grid is going to come to you, and that's going to make your meter go forward. So it's a dual direction meter. The value of the credits and the charges is determined by your specific rate plan, whether you're on the tier D1 or a legacy E6, EVA, etc. I'll talk all about that. Our program, our net energy metering program, is very similar to that of PG&E, at least at our inception. I think it's possible we would tweak it based on customer input to make it more generous or more customer friendly. Interested to hear what you think, but we really wanted to make sure, as a lot of you have experienced, the NEM, the rules are a little complicated, solar panels are very expensive, everyone's made this big investment. Really want to make sure that we don't mess people up and that no one leaves money behind, those things. So we wanted to try as much as possible to match the PG&E program. So things that are the same. So you're getting full retail credit. The price at which you buy electricity at any given time is the same price at which you would sell it at to us. The so-called true up, so your net energy metering credits carry over month to month, but between 12-month periods they do not. If you're on a NEM, if you're a NEM 2.0 customer, those non-bypassable charges, I give them 2, those are still going to be there. We have no impact on those. PG&E is still the one who controls how big a system you can put on, still the one who's the ones that you have to sign up and your interconnection agreement is with. Your bill, as I said earlier, is still going to be from PG&E. We're a page or 2 within that. We have some images of what that looks like. And then the rates, anything that you have presently will automatically be transferred over. And you remain a PG&E customer. I want to emphasize that you're a shared customer. You're a PG&E customer and you're a customer of ours. And so if you're on a legacy E6 rate or what have you, you retain that. If you're a legacy NEM 1.0, you retain that. Even if you go back, nothing changes. And we have that, sort of written in blood with PG&E. That's not going to change. On the right side, what's different? So when you are enrolled with San Jose Clean Energy, PG&E is going to true you up. So we're going to work very hard to stagger and set those. We're not going to launch everybody in February, for example. We're going to likely it'll be quarterly, and we'll try to get as close as possible to your original true up date with PG&E. But your new, once you start with us, everybody trues up in April. So maybe I'll answer this. So if your true update with PG&E is, so anybody that comes over to us, just to make sure, because this April, you might be thinking, well, if I start in September, I'm not gonna, September to April, I'm gonna still have some credits left over. So we're gonna, you have to have at least 10 months of service before we true you up. So if you only have 5, then you go another 12 months before the April true up. Sir?
This is all unknown to me. I'm not familiar with this stuff, so it's really interesting. I appreciate it. The one thing I'm not clear on is the true up. Is this sort of like tax aid? You're either going to pay a big bill for taxes, or maybe you'll get a refund. And is there any numbers or anything online that says for the average consumers they typically get back what they pay, something like that?
So it all depends on how big the system is on your house, and depends how your energy usage is. But on your bill, you get a monthly sort of update. PG&E customers today, the NEM charges, there's an annual true up. And so you see there's a monthly kind of running counter of your NEM balance.
So you can watch it go up or down.
That's right.
At least some anticipation of what
That's right. And there have been, I'm told, there have been, although you can see that, there have been significant, sort of like when it's time for the true up, there are some differences, but yes, you can sort of see something. We're offering an option for monthly billing, so some people don't like that big number once a year, because it can get pretty big, $500, $1,000. Some people don't like that, so we have an option if you want to go on a monthly plan with us. But the default is to stay annual. We also have an option to be 100% renewable service for the part that your NEM is not offsetting. That's different. PG&E doesn't let you do that. And then we're offering a little bit of a bonus on net surplus compensation. So for those of you that don't know, if you are a net generator, that is to say your solar system generates more energy in a year than you use, then we call you a net generator, and then you're eligible for what's called net surplus compensation on that excess. It's a small number, my opinion, what is offered, but we're offering 25% higher on top of that small number in the first year. And so we're going to set that based on, so for 2019, we set that based on the average of the monthly rates that PG&E publishes for 2018. So that's how we got to that number, and we'll do that every year. So you are welcome to enroll early with our 100% renewable product, Total Green. Also, so that's for customers that have solar prior to February. If you put on solar after we launched in February, you will notice that you got enrolled in this, unless you put your hand up and said no thank you. Because as I mentioned before, because PG&E, once you join San Jose Clean Energy, you're automatically trued up by PG&E. We don't want to do that at a disadvantageous time period, so we're going to stagger these out. As I say, we think it's going to be quarterly, probably not less than that. If anything, it might be 6 times every 2 months. Yeah, so that's that. And so you'll start getting notices before it's time for your for you to be enrolled. 2 in the 60 days before your service will begin, and then two more in the after. So they'll look about like this. They'll be a little bit bigger that says, hey, this is coming, and if you don't like it, here's how you get out, and there'll be terms and conditions on the back. Of course, those terms and conditions are also on the website. And we'll be doing more meetings. There's been a lot of interest from, in my experience, the NEM customers are really interested in their electricity more than your average, and so we've had a lot of interest, and so we wanted to at least do one of these to try to answer as many questions as we can. So we'll be doing a lot more solar-specific outreach later this year as well. So, couple slides about what the bills are going to look like. So you'll notice that you will have a new line item on your bill that says San Jose Clean Energy. It's not an additional charge. We set all of our prices to be, we don't make them up. We look at what PG&E's price is and we take 1% off of that. No matter what rate schedule it is. The peak price of E6, we're 1% lower than that. The off-peak price, we're 1% lower than that. So the math is such that you can't be being charged more. And if you are, because mistakes do happen here and there, we'll make it right. Okay, so it's new, but it's not an additional charge. On your NEM state, your bills are now divided into distribution, like we talked about, and generation. We are the generation part. The top is the PG&E, as you can see that. So that net charge, that is still your, those are your bypassable charges, and those you do pay every month. Any energy that you may or may not have used on the PG&E side, that just rolls over for your annual true-up. Most of you, I think, are familiar with that. On our side, you see that same math. You see that there's a per kilowatt hour charge here. We show that to you, and again, that is your NEM balance owed is this. So there's a running tally of your NEM balance on our side, as well as on the PG&E side. That's a different page of the bill. I don't have a copy of that here. I also wanted to point out, so for an E1 customer, the tiered rates, most residential customers are on that rate. Although I don't know, for solar customers, there's differing opinions about whether that's better or not. But all of the tiering, the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, under the community choice energy billing, all of that tiering and extra charges, that's all in the PG&E side of the bill. For us, for an E1 customer, it's just a flat fee per kilowatt hour. Sir?
Does the monthly minimum remain?
It does.
Does it get credited at true-up time?
Yes. So the question was about monthly minimum charges, and those do remain, and those are credited at the true up. When I say that we are priced at 1% below PG&E, I'm referring to on the generation portion, which is about half of average bills. So, in fact, we're about half a percent of your total bill of savings. But what I want to clarify is that by law, when customers leave PG&E bundled service and move to being served by San Jose Clean Energy Generation Service, a so-called power cost indifference adjustment charge, or casually known as the exit fee, is also charged to you. And we set that price, so our prices, you see, are actually 25, 35% lower than PG&E. But after you tack on these fees, that's where that 1% is. So you're still, all of our pricing takes that into account. How big these fees are, the philosophy behind these fees, if it's not clear, PG&E, investor-owned utilities, the idea is, hey, we invested, we thought we were going to serve our customers forever, we've made investments based on that. Customers leave, what do we do with these investments? The remaining customers shouldn't be unduly burdened. That part's all, we all agree on that. How big is the number? There's a lot of debate on that and a lot of discussion at the CPUC. But so, that's the origin of these fees. And oh, by the way, gas, all things gas remain with PG&E. We have nothing to do with gas. Also, a common question, so this middle line here, and this is available on the PG&E website, in case you're wondering, and we also send this out once a year so you see this comparison. But what we're trying to show here is that the unit cost for delivery for the PG&E part of the bill are the same whether or not you are a PG&E customer or a San Jose Clean Energy customer. That's that by law. You're paying the same there. And these are these extra fees, this PCIA. So you see on an average bill, you're saving just a little bit with us, a little bit less than $1. But again, across the city, that adds up. Also, for any customers who are on these discount programs, we have the same. You're automatically enrolled as part of your transfer over to us, so no need to do anything there. Also, if you auto bill pay, that also transfers because you pay PG&E and PG&E then pays us. We have the same electric vehicle rates that, rate schedule that PG&E does, except ours is 1% better for you. And PG&E offers rebates on electric vehicles, but many other things, and you're still eligible for all of those because you're still a PG&E customer. Yeah, I spoke a minute ago about these so-called programs that other CCAs have gotten into after a year or two of operation, and the idea is that maybe some of you know, California and San Jose have done a pretty good job of taking a bite out of the electric generation carbon dioxide emissions, programs like this. So most of the carbon dioxide emissions now come from transportation, cars, more than 60%. So one, thinking of how do we get after that, because it's been sort of stubborn and it's lots of little things as opposed to one program like this. If we can use our clean electricity to power electric vehicles, then we're sort of doing like a double whammy. And so incentivizing electric vehicles or getting more charging infrastructure out there, that has been one approach. But so we will, an innovative rate design to sort of influence behavior, customer behavior, charge this time, do laundry that time. Those are things that we would do. potentially. But so we're going to be out in the community asking your opinion, and of course we will do as council asks us to do. I think that's my last slide.